Okay, let me take you down to Bridgeport, Connecticut. Actually, down to Lordship, Connecticut. I am a lucky person. I married a lady who comes from Lordship, Connecticut. So I get to visit my in-laws every now and then. And I get to see some real good footage. And I'd like to share that with you. Something you might find interesting, or something that you probably don't really care about. But I'm still gonna show you if you want to watch this video. So let's go see where I was when I took that footage. I was down by the seawall of the Lordship shores. So I was standing right by those cars there on the sidewalk, right over the rocks. And you can see the beach is right next to it. So from the beach you can walk up to that sidewalk without climbing too much. So in my video I'm going to show you, we're going to pan out across the Long Island Sound from left to right, which is from north to south. And we're going to look at some features across the water. And I'm eventually going to pan all the way down south towards the Big Apple. The Big Apple, ladies and gentlemen, is New York City, in case you didn't know. New York City, the capital of the world, that they say. So here are the smokestacks of Northport. And I'm going to make another little video on that smokestack. And all my videos I'm going to show you are about the curvature of our Earth. You think the curvature is something special? Well, most people think it's obvious there's a curvature because we live on a globe. And a whole bunch of people are saying, there's no curvature, the Earth is flat. You can go way up high in the sky, in an airplane, in a jet, and you'll never see the curvature of the Earth. You'll always see the horizon way out. But I'm going to show you something different. Something that we'll be able to see looking towards New York City, which are some heads over water. Some heads sticking out over water. Whose head is that? Some elitist heads? Some skyscrapers? So as we look at New York City with Google Earth, as we approach the city, we can see that there are a few skyscrapers sticking higher than the rest of the panorama. You can see here on Wikipedia, they list those tallest buildings in New York. Very well explained. They show you the numbers here. The tallest one is the One World Trade Center, which is 1776 feet. But if you look at the roof height, it's only 1368 feet. Okay, and that's the tallest one, the tallest building in New York. And then the second, third, and fourth one, they have a little asterisk next to them, which tells us that they are not done being built. And we still see them. They're still up in the air. Their rooftop has already been assigned. You can see the list of the New York tallest buildings. Some are more beautiful than others. Some were built early that had a lot of harmonics in their shape. And the most modern one are blatantly ugly. So we can see that the numbers are going down and down, 915 feet. But I don't think I'm going to need to see all those skyscrapers to the bottom of the list, because all I need is the tallest ones. So let's see on my video what I shot. So you can see that the rocks are right below me. So my camera eye is about 10 feet over the water. Approximately 10 feet. Okay? So as I go out and pan out across the Long Island Sound with my Nikon P900, I zoom and whoop, what do I get when I stretch my camera out there? I get the curvature. You see that line there where the trees disappear behind? Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, is a sight of the curvature. And as I look at the top of the water there, it hides a bit of the land beneath what we see. So you don't see the bottom of the building so well on the other side. Hello, fishermen. Long Island Sound is very busy with boats in the summertime, and that was just before the 4th of July in 2018. Almost 2 years ago. I've been holding on to my knowledge for a few years, not knowing how and when I would present that to the world, but I got more time right now. See the farrier here. Somehow we don't see the bottom part of the farrier, we only see the top half. But I'll show you another video about this here. Farriers disappearing. Okay. Let's go a little further, a little faster, and get to the point. You can see another farrier with the bottom half missing. Beyond the curvature line. You can see buildings missing their bottoms as if they're dipping in water. And straight across the Long Island the Long Island Sound, there's about 10 miles of span. But as I look down more south, the distance between the shores keeps stretching. As I keep panning out down south towards New York City, you're gonna notice that the land is gonna be shrinking. These are the Northport smokestacks. I'm making another video about those smokestacks and what we could see across. How can we measure the height of the things we see on the other side? So as I go down south, you can see that the land ends. The land ends. There's land, then whoop, water, water, land ends right there. If you look at the map, the land doesn't end because we're looking towards New York City. So as I keep panning out over the water, big, wide stretch of water, which is basically continuous land. They call it Long Island, but it's just like a little river separating the island from Manhattan. So excuse my camera visibility, but you can see right there, there's something sticking out over the horizon line. It looks like a tower, but I couldn't really tell when I was shooting that because I had the sun glaring in my eyes and I was looking into a small camera. Sorry here, having a hard time keeping the camera up. So we just saw another little piece of tower or antenna or something sticking out. Here's another one. You see that? Some kind of a shadow. It could be a boat far away, you could say, if you want. But here, does that look like a boat to you? That looks like a skyscraper to me. You can see it pretty clearly, without a doubt. You can see the roof. You can almost see the two sides of it. You can see one side clearly and the other side on the left of it. As I back out, just to show you that I didn't trick any imagery, it's one continuous film that I got with my Nikon P900. If you want to buy a better zoom than the Nikon P900, you can buy the P1000. What can you see that the eye cannot see? With a camera is amazing. So as I keep searching around, I was a bit more impatient. I got something else to do in my day. I got a whole family waiting for me. What are you doing, Dad? Why are you spending so much time on your camera? Anyway, so here I got to see the shore on the same side of the Long Island Sound that I was, on the southwest shore. See a nice old lighthouse, probably built before the last reset. And that's it. All I want to show you out of this video. Look at this other clip. That was the day after. Next morning, maybe a little bit earlier, you can see that the water is a bit more flat. The air is a bit more clear. And you can see the smokestacks across the Long Island Sound. Here's a closer look at them. But I want to go straight to my point. I want to look at the same thing I saw the day before. Here's some kind of an antenna or whatever we can see that's poking out of the water. Could be a boat, could be something. But there's not that many things that could stand out that tall past the height of the curvature on the water. You can make your own research if you want. You can try to see if I faked anything, but I'm not a mainstream source. I will not fake any news. I will not sell my soul to any entities in order to gain any fortune. I'm gonna just tell you as it is, straight out of my heart. What I've seen, what I've came across. I'm not gonna tell you everything that I've seen and came across, but I'm just gonna show you a few things to clarify my point. See these little flagpoles sticking out of the water? It's kind of leaning in an angle that probably is more likely that it's coming from a boat, or it could be top of a skyscraper. I'm not sure. As you keep panning out, I almost see some details that we're missing because like I tell you, I was standing out in the sun. The sun is almost in my eyes, and I'm looking into the small hole of my camera, and I'm trying to see with my zoom stretched out what there is over that water, beyond that water that we can see. From the same spot I was, on the Lordship shore, on the seawall, 10 feet over the water, approximately 10 feet over the water level. So if the world was totally flat, you wouldn't see only water before land and the skyscraper. But I'm still going to explain my point here to show you that the world is not necessarily the globe that we were thought of being, the one world that we live in. There are many evidence of our world not being on a globe. There's a whole lot of YouTube videos out there. I'm not going to list any, and some look a little bit more stupid than others. Some are brilliant flat earth YouTubes. And most of them, they basically show you what there is. They don't really invent theories. They show you, and they're gonna show you the links where they got their stuff. Same here. What I'm showing you, anybody else could go behind me and take the same footage. All you need is a clear day when there is not many planes spraying chemtrails, when there's no bad weather going on, when the sky is crisp, is when you'll get the best views. So when the sky is crisp, there's very little bit moisture in the air. Therefore, the refraction index is minimal. So people will tell you, oh, it's refraction. You're looking at the water and it curves the sight. So what we're looking at over here is some kind of a building sticking out of the water. And a lot of the skyscrapers in New York City are made out of glass on the outside surface. So they reflect a lot of light, like mirrors. So that thing seems to be reflecting light, but it's kind of hard to make out what it is. You can see it has a bit of a square shape, like a building top, no doubt about that. Let's keep looking for something. Is there anything out there? Oh, here's another square rectangular building. You can see its two sides very well. Okay. That would look, I think, more like the One World Trade Center. Here's another skyscraper top. You see here, and there, it kind of is mirrored out by the flat water on the horizon. But you can see the width of the building. You can see an antenna sticking up. As I keep searching and searching, I don't find much more to see in my line of sight. If I had more time to go to Lordship and take shots, I would show you more. But I only go there every now and then to visit the family. But anybody else could go there. Not to visit my family, it's kind of private, but anybody could go on the shorelines of any wide stretch, big span of water and look on the other side and see what they got. If you got a good telescope, if you got a good camera with a good zoom like mine, then you can see those details on the other side. Okay, that's on the same side of the shore. As my video is ending here, you can see that is normal. So if I go back to those tallest skyscrapers in New York, okay, I can see that from an angle, there's only a few that could actually be seen. Let's take some measurements to see the distance of what we're looking at. From New York to Connecticut. apologize, I'm not the best computer tech. I'm at the bottom of the list if you want to hire any computer tech. You shouldn't even consider hiring me as a computer tech. But I got many other skills, don't worry. Let's see, how can I measure that distance from Connecticut to New York? So we get 54 miles, 0.8 approximately. I'm not too sure which part of New York I'm standing from, but we got it stretched here to Lordship. Our big ruler, 54-mile long ruler. So to calculate the curvature of the Earth, we need to do some simple math if you know the triangle of Pythagoras. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. And you're using this number here, 3,963 feet, which is the radius of the Earth. So if you use this number, you're going to wind up to 8 inches per square mile, per mile squared. So 54 miles, I square that. Okay, square times itself, 54 times 54 is 2,916 feet. Okay, I multiply that by 8 inches per foot, which is 2/3 of a foot, which is 0.666666666, and it gives me 1,943 feet of sky that I wouldn't be able to see at 54 miles. So at 54 miles, I shouldn't be able to see anything lower than 1,900 feet, considering that my eyeball, my camera eye, was about 10 feet higher than the water level in Lordship, Connecticut. So 1,900 feet, over 1,900 feet, and I can still see the tops of skyscrapers that are under 1,400 feet. So 1,900 minus 1,400, so there's at least 500 feet missing in my observation. Because if the Earth radius was 3,900 and a few feet in radius, if we had a bigger number, we would have a bigger Earth. If we had a smaller number, we would have a smaller Earth. But can we fit all of our continent on the same Earth? As the sun has only 24 hours to go over all of them. If we had a bigger Earth, the sun would be going slower across the span of our Earth. If we had a smaller Earth, the sun would be going faster. If we have a globe, a round ball with a radius of 3,900 and some miles. Okay? Hi, I'm Louis. Welcome to my tube, the Curvature Amateur. I have more to show you like this, so hold on to your thoughts. You can make some math all you want. To compare it with my math. I like to keep things simple. I'm not a technician very well with computers. And I'm also a French Canadian, so if I have an accent, open your ears a little bit more. Okay? So, if we look at what's going on in the world right now, it doesn't look too good. But we can still look at the world with an open mind and an open eye, or two eyes. It works even better than one eye. And as we're looking around, we can see that there are things that we were told. And the things we were told are not necessarily true. Like, are we really spinning on a globe in the vacuum of space? Try to spin a ball and see how it acts. Try to spin a ball with water on top of it. And when we look at the stars, how come they don't change from night to night, from year to year? When we'd be spinning in space and our solar system is supposed to be moving forward. How can that be possible? The flat earthers have came up with a lot of good topics to show that what we're looking at is not what we were told. But they also claim that there is no curvature, and that is what I'm here to show you, that there is actually curvature out there that we can see and we can kind of measure with some good reference points. And at home here in Hawaii, I got lots of footage, and it's probably the best place in the world to be looking at the curvature, since we got high mountains and we got a wide span of water between the islands. So stay tuned and you'll see that I'm not as crazy as I look. Okay? I'm not crazy at all. Give me a chance. And I'm not conspiring with anybody over this topic here, because I made my own observation and I made my own judgment, and it's all out of this head here. If you have anything to add to my thoughts, I'm open. And if you have any comments that are going to tell me how crazy I am, I'm not going to be taking that so personally. So be open-minded, be open-hearted, and open-eyed.